Hi there, I'm Nat Ryan and welcome to the Dietary Restriction Kitchen. Today in the kitchen I'll be making my version of butter chicken, and I call it butter-free butter chicken because it has absolutely no dairy and it is gluten-free as well. And also, this version I'm going to do today has no nightshade, so there is no potato or tomato or peppers or anything in the nightshade family. So you may or may not be nightshade free, but if you're dairy free, this will work well for you as well. And maybe you know somebody who is nightshade free and you could make this and both of you could enjoy it. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need is a glass or plastic bowl of some kind. And we're going to take 2 to 4 boneless, skinless chicken breasts and we're going to cut them up into bite-sized pieces. Now, you could use a knife. I love to use my kitchen shears, so I give them a good clean afterwards, don't worry. But this is what I like to use for that. So it's going to take a little bit of time. There we go. I've just kind of showed you the end result of me doing this. So here we are, all cut up. So now we're going to make the marinade. So we've got some either coconut yogurt, or you can also use oat milk yogurt, and that will make it dairy free. So I'm using coconut yogurt. And to that we're going to add our spices, and that's going to be some garam masala, some garlic powder, some ground ginger and salt, some ground cumin, turmeric, and white pepper. Okay, so normally there's chili powder in this, but chili powder is in the nightshade family too, so we're avoiding that. But we're going to bring our heat, instead of with chili powder, we're going to bring the heat with the white pepper. So we're going to mix that all up together. It could be black pepper too as well if you really wanted to. I like to use ground ginger and garlic for this because it makes the marinade smoother instead of using fresh for this. But if you want to use fresh garlic and ginger minced up, you certainly could do that. So let's get our chicken, see, all cut up in that little dish, ready to go. So we're gonna put all that marinade in with it. Now the marinade's pretty thick. It's not like a thin, watery sort of marinade. It's a very creamy, thick sort of marinade. It smells wonderful. The smell's going to be amazing, but you don't be tempted to put it in your mouth right now because obviously it's raw chicken with it. So we want to avoid that, but we're going to mix it up good. Mix it, marinate in. We want those pieces all to be covered well in that marinade. So just making sure it's all covered up there. Good. There we are. Okay. Ooh, there we are. Now where do I set this spoon down? Over here. Okay. So there's the chicken all covered in the marinade. And we're going to cover that container with either tin foil or plastic wrap. I had to use the tin foil because I don't have any plastic wrap right now. And then we're going to put it in the fridge for at least 30 minutes and up to overnight. And then once that's finished marinating, we're going to heat up some, I'm using coconut oil. It could be olive oil. It could be vegan margarine. So I'm using coconut oil, going with the coconut stuff because I personally love coconut and I don't have a sensitivity to coconut. But if you do, you could use vegan margarine to do this part, because what we're going to do is we're going to brown those chicken pieces. So there it is. I've taken it out of the fridge. And what we want to do is heat up that oil. There it goes. Now it's nice and heated up. We want to put the chicken pieces in there. Let me find a spoon. There we go. And put in about half of them. What you want to do is you don't want to throw all of them into the pan at the same time because you need a lot of room. You want the chicken pieces to have a good amount of room around them so that they cook. Now they're not going to be cooked all the way through at this point. This is just to brown them. So you're going to brown them on one side, turn them over, brown the other side. So don't have to worry that the chicken does not need to be cooked all the way through at this point. So there you go. Then those ones have been cooked through. I'm putting them in another clean pan that has a lid. And what I'm going to do is put the lid on it. And I'm going to put those ones in my oven on a low oven. And that's about 200 degrees Fahrenheit oven. Just a low oven, and then just to keep them warm in the meantime while we do other stuff here. So cooking the other chicken and then making the sauce. So the chicken's going to be in the oven for that. So we're going to melt up that new bit of coconut oil or vegan margarine if you're using that, or olive oil or what have you. Now we're going to put the rest of the chicken in the frying pan in that hot oil. Okay, and set that aside with my sink. Okay, now get them separated up a little bit and then brown them on both sides. There they are, nice and browned on both sides. So let's take the oven chicken out, and we're going to set that cover aside and put the rest of that chicken. I'm sorry, it's just slightly off camera here. I'll give you a little peek here in a minute. Let me set this down. And I'm going to put my cover on, but oh wait a minute, I didn't let you peek, did I? Okay, hold it. It's a hot pan. I'm gonna have see. So it's all done. It's in that pan. I'll put the cover on. See, my problem with that I'm having here is those my oven mitts are silicone and they're great. I'll never burn myself, but I lack manual dexterity with these things on. Okay, so now what you're going to do is make your sauce. So again, some more coconut oil or vegan margarine in the pan. And what we're going to do is add some onion to that, chopped up onion. So a medium to medium large onion chopped up. So we're doing that. Oh, got to get something to mix it with. Okay, my favorite little short-handled wooden spoon. There we go. And to that, we'll add some chopped up garlic and chopped up ginger. Now, if you don't have any fresh garlic or ginger, what you can do is just use some garlic powder and some ground ginger as well. I like to use the powdered for the marinade and then the fresh for the actual sauce, but that's if I have it, right? If you don't, you can use the ground. And so now we're doing all kinds of other spices. So that's got cumin, ground coriander, garam masala, salt. There's some white pepper or black pepper if you're using that. And that all goes in there. So it'll make it look kind of dirty, but the smell is amazing. Okay, so I wish I could video the smell because it's just amazingly beautiful smell. And then at the very end of that, of where we're putting the spices, we add turmeric. So that gives it sort of that golden color. So that's what gives a yellowy golden color to all kinds of curry dishes because they mostly have turmeric in there. And then to that, we're going to add some chicken broth. It could be homemade chicken broth or store-bought chicken broth. So we'll get that mixed in there. Okay, let that go. And now this is my secret ingredient. This is pureed roasted butternut squash. So this is what we're using instead of tomato paste. So most butter chicken recipes have tomato paste or sometimes even like crushed tomatoes. And that's what gives it, that's what kind of partly thickens up the sauce. But if you're doing it nightshade free, you wouldn't be able to use tomatoes or tomato paste. So for this version, we're using pureed roasted butternut squash. So get that mixed in well. It will be quite thin at the beginning and you might go, oh my gosh, that'll never thicken. But as it kind of simmers down, we want it to quite bubble. So we're going to get that bubbling away here. Come on, there we go, bubbling away, and we're stirring it. You can see that it's starting to thicken up there and get quite bubbly. There we go, as you can see it. And then what we're going to do, once we get to that stage where it's thickened up a little bit, you can definitely tell, we're going to put it into a food processor or blender. Be very careful when you're doing this, you don't splash yourself with that hot stuff or make a complete mess in your kitchen. It is messy, but it is good. So set the pan aside here. Put the cover on. Oh, wait. Got a little flicks there at the top. Okay, there we go. Little bits of onion on the top. Come on, get the cover on there. There we go. So then you puree it quite on high until it's smooth, so it only takes about 30 seconds max. And then we're going to put it back in your frying pan. So see, it's quite smooth there. Okay, get it in there. There we go. Turning it up, turning my heat up again so that we can get that going. And to that, we're going to add some coconut milk. So canned coconut milk goes in there, or you could use even canned coconut cream if you can find that at the store. It will make it even richer and really rich. But the coconut milk is fine. If you didn't have that, you could use other non-dairy milks, okay, as well. So you could use oat milk if you wanted to, or any kind of other non-dairy milk that you use that can take heat. That's why I say coconut milk can take the heat very well, and so can oat milk. Some of the other non-dairy milks don't like to be heated all that well, so you gotta have to experiment with that. Now let's get your chicken out of the oven and dump that in the sauce along with the juices that were in with the chicken. Okay, I'll take my those silly oven mitts off again, and then we're going to put that in there. So you see there's quite a bit of sauce. That's a lot of sauce. So after your chicken has been in the sauce simmering away and bubbling away in there for about 15 minutes, you want to take a piece out, put it on a plate or something, and cut into it and check the inside to make sure that that is well cooked, and that looks good. If it's not cooked all the way through at that point, you just put it back in there and finish cooking another 5 minutes, check again, and keep doing that until the chicken is cooked through. So once you're done, I am serving some for my lunch here on some brown rice. Once you're done, you have enough to serve quite a few people if you like. Like I said earlier, you can use 2 chicken breasts or up to 4 chicken breasts to make this. If you wanted to use a cheaper cut of chicken, you could use boneless, skinless chicken thighs instead of the chicken breasts, and that would be a little bit of a cost saving. Another way to stretch this is just to add a can of chickpeas near the end. While the chicken is heating through in the finished sauce, you can add a can of drained and rinsed chickpeas, and that would really stretch this meal out a lot and make it very economical for a family. And so thanks so much for watching. I can't wait to see you again here at the Dietary Restriction Kitchen. Bye for now.